Greetings from wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome to the People's Lens, a show that brings political, policy, lifestyle, and social issues closer to you.
We're coming to you from the Catholic University of Eastern Africa, where we want to engage on a topic that shapes our daily lives: social media, identity, and the impact of viral trends. Let's look at the statistics briefly. Every Kenyan spends an average of 4 hours, 19 minutes daily on social media. That's almost double the world average. So in a world where a single post can impact your life, can make you or break you, Ashley will be looking at how this impacts the daily lives of not just Kenyans, but the youth.
Today, we interrogate how much of these trends are shaping or empowering their lives, or are they breaking them and they don't even notice? So let's go talk to the youth, right?
Well, there's a foundation stone here.
Yeah.
Apparently, His Holiness Pope John Paul II was here in 1985. It has a rich history.
Yeah, just to give context to our viewers,
Yeah.
the school actually began in 1984 as the Catholic Higher Institute of East Africa, a graduate school of theology authorized by the Vatican. So it makes sense. But they did get their charter in 1992. As you can see, Jesse, they even have a grotto. So it really speaks a lot about how important Christianity is to this institution.
And I think it will fuel our discussion as we continue today, because we'll be talking about the impact of social media and these viral trends. So in an institution that has been based on the foundation of faith and religion, how is this impactful to the learners, the teachers here, even part of the church staff who actually give their time and their services in this institution?
Definitely, but let's go find out. She's even reading the standards. Bold
How
newspaper.
coincident. Hi, how are you? We'd like just to engage you briefly. Perhaps you could start with your name, if you could give us a few minutes of your time. Your name, which year are you in choir?
My name is Alexis Rosemary.
Yeah.
I've been in choir for 3 years. I'm in fourth year.
Oh, what do you like about choir?
Everything, the diversity, the people, the lecturers, and the fact that we get to show ourselves and our colors.
Speaking of showing ourselves and culture, how much time do you spend on social media?
I'd say about the whole day if I don't have classes in between.
Okay, what's your
Yeah.
favorite app?
I usually on TikTok and Instagram most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at the trends and everything about social media, do you think it shapes who you are as a person?
Yes, I do, because if you go maybe on Pinterest or Instagram, there's some trends of maybe clothing. The way I was dressing when I was in first year is not the same way I'm dressing right now, because the trends keep on changing. My hairstyles keep on changing, makeup routine keep on changing, my jewelry keep on changing every single time. So I think it shapes the way I am every
Okay.
single time.
Pinterest girly?
Yeah, I'm a Pinterest girl.
Okay, I feel you there. Thank you so much for your time.
No worries.
Okay, enjoy your class. Thank you. Oh, Jesse, they're even on their phones.
Definitely.
Let's get to find out. Hi. How are you?
Uko fiti?
Hello.
Nice, nice. Naomba kuongelesha just briefly. Utaanza na jina, utuambie kenye unafanya hapa choir, which year you're in, and perhaps talk to us about impact ya social media. Tuanze na unatumiaga platform gani sana? Yeah.
Okay, so if I may begin,
Yeah.
I'm Alan Mwaura, fourth-year student, Catholic University of East Africa, pursuing Bachelor of Education, Mathematics and Computer Science.
Sorry.
Okay, so when it comes to the social media and stuff, mostly utapata someone like me, napenda maybe Instagram, maybe, then kuna TikTok, kuna Snapchat, sending streaks and such. Kwanza huko very important. Alafu pia WhatsApp because of the communication around the school.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to know kama class yako imechangiwa venue, if the class maybe the lecturer is not available for today. Okay. Pia kuna platforms zingine tunatumia za game also for the internet. Okay. Something like football. Unapata kuna some people who prefer to play Call of Duty. Yeah, but sasa unaona bado it's still in the internet, okay? Yeah.
But what kind of posts do you like viewing on social media?
Posts. On posts, maybe I'll talk about maybe, first of all, football.
Okay.
Yeah, football. Then we can talk about maybe the what's going around the country, Kenya inaendelea, what the politicians have to say on certain aspects of what people are talking about in the ground. Yeah.
Ka optical nutrition hivi?
Yeah,
Lazima.
kitu kama hiyo. Lazima we must be updated. Lazima watu waambie what is going on.
Okay.
We can talk of course maybe my friends, I need to know what are they about, what are they up to about, are they having fun and such, okay? We need some experiences, uende utembee, you show us that umetembea, you have that exposure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's hear from him. Tell us your name, what do you study, how long have you been at Quare?
Okay, I'm Okoth Isaac. I'm a 4th year student at Catholic University of Eastern Africa. Na mi ni mwanafunzi. Mi sana nakonga Twitter. Mi ndo nasema ni social media platform yangu. Na sana mi napenda kupenda on intrusive feeds. Unaweza get? As in kuna post unapata kama kuna handle inajita illimitable man. Anakonga na very deep stuff.
So are you a silent follower ama ukwaga una post vitu online? Na kama una post vitu online, how much influence do likes, follows have in terms of your content Kenya unaweka on social media?
Kama ni kupost mi na sana ni kuretweet.
Or ni kuretweet. So we're mostly silent follower pale.
Hivyo ndo mi engage na social media.
Okay.
The older generation is really worried about social media and the trends and everything that goes on in social media. Do you think there should be an age gap? Age gap?
Definitely kwa sababu unapata you get some people wako on social media na intentions zao. They're very, very bad for our young audience and our younger viewers. Unapata kuna post zenye mess up mentally.
Okay.
Depending on how we've grown and how we've been tumelelewa, that now the age, our millennials, the one that you're talking about, they have a problem. Basically, they didn't have phones faster and at a younger age than we did.
Na mnaweza survive bila social media tukimalizia. Hii kitu ikatwe kama other countries.
Like the way Nepal did. No, hata sisi tu. I think the social media plays a great role in bringing us together as youths. Because unapata basically, kama you want to invite me to a place, you can just send the poster of the event na nita arrive, sindo?
Okay.
Because basically kama hakuna, sasa mimi nitajua aje that you have a birthday event and you plan to invite me na mimi ni
Kwani kitambo wase walikuwa wanajuaje?
si walikuwa wanasema sasa tukiwasha hapa smoke surely how many people do you think will show up at 2025?
Chapi, unaweza survive bila social media?
Mi kusurvive bila social media maybe 2 days hivi.
2 days?
2 days maximum hivi kwa sababu pia social media kuna vitu inanisaidia.
Okay. Umemonetize in any way, shape or form? Hiyo iko kwa plan tukimalizia?
Tuma lion.
Kuna watu wanatengeneza kaki.
Iko kwa
Top.
Okay. That's proper. Asanteni for your time. I hope hatuja interfere na class schedule. Unajua nini walimu bana?
I know.
Muhimu. Safi, wacha si tuendelee. Tume appreciate sana, wacha kushikilia hii. Safi.
Nice meeting you.
Fiti. Safi. Okay.
Content creators make money on social media through the following ways: brand partnerships and sponsorships, affiliate marketing, platform monetization programs, merchandise and personal brand, event appearances or paid collaborations.
Well, we're still strolling the streets of Queer, and we happen to have a student leader here with us. We just want to engage him briefly on some of the issues we'll be conversing on our main topic today, that is revolving around social media. So perhaps let's start with your name. It's a pleasure to have you with us, first of all. Looking sharp, you're looking the part. So tell us your name, tell us which position you hold as a student leader, and which year, of course.
Okay. My name is Okanda Collins Odhiambo. I'm a fourth-year accounting student at this great university, where I'm doubling up as the treasurer of the students' organization. Pleasure is all mine to meet you. I've seen you before several times.
Not just me, I'm sure you've seen her as well.
Yeah, same to Ashley.
Definitely. Asante kutukaribisha. Today we're talking about social media, and we'll get into the thick of the conversation later on. But I'd just like to get the role social media played, perhaps in how you ascended to the position of treasurer. Was it impactful during your campaign period? How important was it in terms of reaching out to the students, in terms of getting votes and all that? Yeah.
Social media has been an instrumental tool in as far as my campaigns are concerned. Because I remember starting as the class rep. You see, from that perspective, you can only talk and reach to the people who you are with in that class. But of course, I was eyeing for the bigger position, talking about serving the entire school, you see. And so there is need of social media where you can get to meet other schoolmates from other faculties. So of course I had to use Facebook, I had to use WhatsApp. Yeah, it was something that I saw it will be fit for me to use to reach the other one. So I can say it has been very instrumental and of profound impact to my success in politics in Kwea.
Do you think social media shaped who you are?
The question, I'll answer it implicitly, because of course leaving the idea of it helping me to rise in politically. Personally, I don't find as if it has helped me that much to identify myself and of course to pursue my goals.
Okay, as we finalize, I have to ask you this, because you're in a public position and you're not beyond reproach, especially since it's a public office.
Of course.
There are people who will criticize you, most of whom will use social media as a way to perhaps mud your name, to taint your image as a student leader. How do you deal with the negative traits of social media on your day-to-day assignments as a student leader? Yeah.
Okay, I think good leaders, they do read. And of course, we read so that we can instill knowledge in us, so that when you're faced with any conundrum, like you can be able to figure it out. So I think it resolves more on emotional intelligence. And there is a book called Emotional Intelligence, because there are times when, of course, it's necessary. It's something that can happen. Because when you're getting into power, there's a team that is supporting you and there's a team that is not supporting you. So the team that was not supporting you, of course, you must expect banters from them. And when they come, how do you deal with it? You see, because if you deal with it maybe in a radical way, the people you are leading are able to see. But you see, you are a leader of all the people,
Including those who don't support you.
Including those who don't support you. So you must be very tactful.
A smear campaign is an organized effort to damage one's reputation by spreading false, misleading, or out of context information online. It can be carried out by individuals, groups, or bots.
There's no way you can come to Kwea and not spotlight what students are doing in terms of earning a living. As you can see, it's a flurry of activities, be it eateries, be it accessories, be it pool and games. Students are doing it all.
Yeah, it's the importance of having a side hustle, and perhaps we'll get to hear from one former student leader. He's called Henry, and he owns an establishment right here called Billionaires Cyber and Accessories. And we'll just get to see the importance of having a side hustle as a student, number one, and equally some of the trappings that comes with getting money at an early age. Are you tempted to put your studies at the back seat as you prioritize making money? But equally, we'll try and tie this whole conversation not just in matters entrepreneurship, but matters social media and the impact all round.
Did you have a side hustle
back in the day? No, Gikomba used to know me by my second name. Nilikuwa nauza thrift mbaya sana.
With this skin tone of yours?
It helped to the ladies.
Well, you're lucky. At least you got to know entrepreneurship at an early age. It's not that I wasn't aware. It's just, I guess, my entrepreneurship was milking my parents and my brother. Hi. Not a proud moment, but I've learned.
Okay.
Now I'm doing better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get to hear what Henry has to say.
Okay.
Yeah. So as hinted, we're here at one of the businesses that's owned by a current student. He's doing his master's at Quare, but previously he started this business as an undergrad student at Quare. We just want to know more about the feel of hustling while still being a student. Which one do you prioritize? And we'll rope it all in terms of our discussion today that centers on social media. He's called Henry. Henry, karibu sana. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Asante, pleasure.
Uko na place poa sana.
Asante sana.
When did you start this? Which year in campus were you in?
I was in third year.
Third year.
I bought one printer, and eventually I continued to grow. I thank my mentor who mentored me and told me you need to do this. At that time I was very needy. And I saw also the need of students who wanted to do printing, browsing, doing assignments, and I felt I need a place where I can satisfy this need. Okay. So at that moment I got a loan. I bought one printer and one computer, and then I started off. I was also eyeing to become a president of the students, so I didn't have money to campaign. So through business, I got little savings here and there, and I became a student leader. Then from there now I started expanding slowly by slowly at the Catholic University of Eastern Africa. Then after that, I felt the need more to even venture into not just printing and cyber, but also accessories when I finished my undergraduate degree. Because I wanted to do a master's in educational research, and I felt I didn't have money. So for me to finance my education, I started even accessories. Right now I'm upscaling slowly by slowly, and I have a dream to create the biggest research hub in Kenya.
It will be big, and that I believe in. Everything has a humble beginning. And you've spoken about the transition. You started with a loan. You had to sort of finance this business from your own pocket in times, and you've been able to expand it. Talk to us about the challenges of balancing side hustles and your studies, because you're currently still studying. How is the challenge? How do you manage?
It's not easy because, for example, right now when I'm taking my master's, every evening I have a class. During the day, I am at the shop and doing other things, but in the evening, I have to ensure that I'm in the business. After that, I have exams to take. I have to ensure also I create time for revision. But the good thing, I have students who come to help me here.
We'll get to talk to them.
Yeah, I have students. I created a huge network of students, and some of them I give them jobs, gigs, and they do very well.
So you're an employer.
Yeah.
How many people do you employ?
I've employed 3 people.
That's amazing.
So far.
Okay, so
And
far.
I have a dream of bringing like 50
Even more.
into the future, going into the future.
Now talk to us about how you leveraged on social media to expand your business. You've mentioned you were a student leader at Quare. How did you leverage on social media to better your sales, to put yourself out there in order to be voted in? Yeah.
When I was a student leader, I realized social media was not just for entertainment. It was actually an economy. And I asked myself, after this leadership, how can I transition the following and the influence that I had to entrepreneurship? And therefore, I created WhatsApp groups, many WhatsApp groups and WhatsApp channels. I started posting my posters there, advertising my business there. Eventually, I grew a TikTok account and also through Facebook and Instagram. I started posting there. And at the moment, I would post just one, for example, one post, I would have line in the following morning, lines of students coming over. Hostels, WhatsApp groups, students in hostels. I created a network of student leaders also. And I usually share the advertisements, the links, and even the posters, and every product I bring. Every time I share it to those leaders and also students in the WhatsApp groups. Okay. Every day I must post on status every day, so it's been consistent after consistent, and that's why I'm transitioning now slowly into acquiring more and more and more.
Oh, that's really
and I'm able to pay my school fee. One thing I'm very proud about is I'm able to pay my school fee. I don't ask anyone for money to sustain myself as a comrade, as a student around here. Yeah, so I'm happy.
right, Jesse, so this is Queer, and this is the Pope Paul VI Learning Resource Center Auditorium. Many students refer to it as LRC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Proper infrastructure here. And if I can digress, this was the venue during the presidential debate that was recently held in the country. And you can definitely see the infrastructure that has been put at this particular university. But you know what? Let's go back to what we're talking about. It's all to do with social media and the impact of this viral trends. Does it affect one's identity? And what better group to talk to than the university students right here, because they shape the discourse on social media. They are part and parcel of Kenyans who spend so much time on social media. You know what research says? 4 hours,
19 minutes in a day.
I think this
How
is...
much time do you take though?
Roughly, that's my average, but I'm pretty sure the students use a lot more time for social media, whether to assist in research, whether for infotainment, yeah, whichever.
I don't know, from your perspective, because we grew up at a different era, for lack of a better way of putting it. I mean, we grew up when there was no phones, social media was not easily accessible, but we were there when there was that transition.
Yeah.
What would you prefer?
I don't want to show my age, but I'd prefer those days, them days, because right now the world is a community, as they say, but at the end of the day, there's so much bad that comes with the good. So if there was a way to sieve out the negative and stay with the positives of social media, then I'd definitely choose this day and age. But there's no such thing.
It's a
You
thin
have
line.
Exactly. You have to take the good and the bad. But enough of us, guys. Let's just hear from the students themselves what they have to say in terms of the impact of social media. Does it assist when it comes to education, or is it more of a distraction? Equally, when it comes to personal identity, is it shaped by likes, by dislikes, by retweets, or you simply put content out there for the benefit of those it serves?
And also the influencers, what role do they play in shaping up the current generation? Because we've seen so many people sort of like someone on IG, they follow them, they aspire to be them, but then also they take their bad traits. So it's a very thin line, as we've said, so let's go find out.
Hey guys, how are you? Well, thanks for welcoming us.
All right, Collins, even as we start this conversation, I mean, we're still focusing on what we had started on social media and how it affects your identity. As you give your opening remarks, when you post something online, do you keep on going and checking how many likes you've received? And does that affect how you feel?
I think social media initially, when maybe it was now gaining the popularity, to me it was a place where we got to relate with other people, to learn, but right now it's becoming a conundrum that needs to be figured out. In this sense, you find you've posted something, maybe in the morning, you just posted something random about how your day is, and of course you're interested in knowing and letting other people know what's happening. But again, you keep on checking, okay, who has checked my status? And the minute you find somebody has not checked it, you're like, what's really happening?
By show of hands, sorry to take you back to class, how many of you approximately spend more than 5 hours a day on social media? I've started on the lowest, more than 5 hours. Okay, so those who didn't lift up their hands spend less than 5 hours a day on social media. Out of those who lifted their hands, how many of you would say are hooked to social media? If it's taken away from you for a day, you definitely feel the impact in your day-to-day activities. How many of you would fill that gap? Okay, that's interesting. Do likes, follows, retweets give you validation? If you fall under that category, by show of hands, let's see, because I do. Okay, interesting. So we just wanted to get a feel of the group we're dealing with right now, and perhaps we could start with you. You could start with your name, your year right here at Queer, and talk to us about the impact of social media. As we were conversing on the side, you mentioned you're an entrepreneur. How impactful has social media been, not just in terms of your studies, but in terms of your side hustles as well, briefly?
Aflin Adiamo. I'm a fourth-year student taking BCom, and also an entrepreneur, as I mentioned before.
Nice.
Yeah, I sell jewelry outside the school gate, and most of my target audience, clients are the students.
Okay.
So I don't really post my stuff on social media yet, but I'm willing to do so after school, because I will have all the time to answer the clients and reply to their comments and do the orders and everything.
Do you think that the platforms are really authentic for self-expression, or is it a performance? Like, is it authenticity, what people post? Or many times is it just a performance?
Well, thank you so much. I'm Julius Nyerere, the President School of Education, and set to graduate specializing in mathematics and biology. First, I would like to say the following. We all know that communication is very important whenever we have the feedback. Unless you have the feedback, then you will say the communication is complete. And so therefore, somebody posts a reel and maybe a video, perhaps a short story and all that. Like I do short videos in YouTube, lecturing mathematics, secondary mathematics. I would keep on looking at that, checking my comments and all that. It's very important for me. If you try to be authentic in social media, trying to live your life the way you are supposed to do it, naturally, the way you do it normally, take it to social media, it will be very important for you and even for your mental health in general. Okay. As opposed to the other way around, if you're trying to put your life in a standard that maybe it doesn't relate to the way you're supposed to be, then at the end of the day, you will be affected. I object to what you're saying. It's not all about authenticity. You can't fake it. You must be authentic, and social media to some extent also will help you do the same.
So I know there are some of you who said you cannot stay without social media. When these challenges come up, do you feel pressured? Maybe you can pass the mic.
Okay, hi, my name is Muki Mwendwa. I am a fourth-year student taking international relations and diplomacy, and I'm also serving as the publicity secretary of the Queer Students Organization. Now, to answer your questions, do I feel pressured too? Yes.
Why?
I don't know, it sort of has you in the way when you get to social media, and specifically to these challenges, you just find yourself so drawn to it that you can't even explain at some times. But I've also found myself taking ginger shots because it's the norm. Yeah, I can't really explain why we do the things we do, and I'm not.
So do you do your own research before you take?
Yes. As a person, I have to do research before I put anything in my body.
Okay.
Because why would you want to die?
At least you love yourself. But coming to you, I mean, she has a different perspective. Do you feel, because you said you can do without social media, so you look at it totally different. I just want to know what exactly is your thought process about social media?
My name is Jimmy Carter. I'm the outgoing Secretary Academic Affairs Committee. I'm also a finalist, currently pursuing international relations and diplomacy. For me, social media is a very complex topic, and to the best of my ability, I have tried keeping away from it because I understand it's a double-edged sword. It cuts both ways. Maybe there are some people who make money off it, but at the same time, there's the aspect of FOMO, the fear of missing out. Mm-hmm. And I feel that is what is truly ailing a lot of people. Personally, I'm not on a lot of platforms, maybe WhatsApp and Instagram, no, TikTok, no, especially TikTok, because there's a concept I was studying. I call it the TikTok brain, whereby if you check, an average TikTok video is about 30 seconds to a minute long. So I realized if your mind is attuned to only 30, or gets accustomed to only 30 seconds clips, after 30 seconds, change. Then your concentration span gets broken down to kind of like 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, you want to change. So you can even notice it in class. Many people can't even concentrate for 2 hours lecture because it's the TikTok brain. After 30 seconds, you're accustomed to another topic. So for me, I want my span to be as long as possible. I like listening, I like reading books. So I realized that social media effects are going to be very heavy on me if I'm going to engage actively in it. So I chose to stay away from it because I feel it's a performance. Many people don't really mean what they're doing there. And it's kind of like peer pressure. And I prefer living a certain way of life, and I feel if you truly know, if you really ground yourself in what you want, you can be able to actualize or realize what you are truly meant to be doing, your true purpose.
I don't know if the other lady feels attacked in terms of the social media brain, the TikTok brain. We'll get to hear from her a little bit later on. But as we come to you, talk to us about this social media concept. Do you think youth control social media, or social media controls the youth? And equally, as you answer that, has social media changed how you define success, how you define popularity, how you define self-worth? Yeah.
My name is Grace Kamunto. That's a very good question. I'll first start with the definition of self-worth. I'll give my own story. Personally, I was almost like her, where you couldn't stay without social media until last year. You see this period where it's December and now you have new resolutions. So I actually realized that social media people are so loud, you can even lose your own voice. You start to depend on other people's ideologies. So when I realized I'm watching all these videos, people's opinions, where do I stand? I took the initiative to delete TikTok and I deleted it in January. Now we're in September. October. Clock is. Yeah. So when it comes to self-worth, again, it goes down to what Seth has said. Where are you grounded? What do you stand for? Do you know yourself? And now social media has also had a way of making success look so instant, yet it's not instant. You have to go through a process. Everything in life is a process. The moment you go through something without a process, that's a lie.
I feel like if you already know what you want and you're grounded, you are who you are and you believe who you are, then it shouldn't be a problem, should it?
Definitely, it shouldn't be a problem. But you see, I'm still in that process.
Okay.
So the moment I'm done with that process and I get back to it, it wouldn't be a problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Could be an extra pressure. You know, at times it comes with social media, and we've seen some trends, as she referred to earlier. People even taking Ozempic shots that are meant for people with diabetes, just because it's a trend and you want to get up to it, you know, be cool, look like the in thing. Talk to us about peer pressure and how you deal with it as a young campus student. It's not the only pressure you're receiving. So from social media, how do you deal with it and you don't lose what defines you? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's a very good question. My name is Dorcas Wairimu, and I'm a finalist pursuing counseling psychology at this great institution of ours. So back to your question, how does peer pressure influence me in social media, or rather in general? I feel as if in life we tend to learn and relearn and unlearn a lot of things. Peer pressure stems from how you are born, or rather how you are raised, from how your parents did it. Because I feel as if, once again, your parents are the number one teachers. Bible, parents and like the number one teachers. So I feel as if how you grew up influences how you become. And now when you become that person, or rather when you now get to be like, okay, fine, now I can make decisions on for myself and whatnot, it gets to a point you're like, wait, this was actually wrong. I'm not supposed to compare myself with other people. I'm not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to let FOMO rule your life, just the way Jim said, because if it does, it gets to a point, you get lost in the noise. Back to your question about peer pressure, I generally don't feel it. And if I do, I usually find my own ways to maneuver it.
Do you feel like social media affects your thinking personally? The more you consume, the more you're wired differently.
That's interesting. First of all, my name is Teddy Barakmaina. I'm a third year law student here at the Great University of Eastern Africa. Addressing your question, first of all, social media, we can't say that it's a bad thing. First of all, we must accept that it came to, fill in the gaps between us and you so that we can communicate easily. For example, right now you can have a lot of friends from different countries. But concerning how I think right now, it depends with your personality, just as my predecessors here have mentioned. It all roots down to how are you grounded? how well is your mental stability? Because now, if you say that you have a choice to choose whatever you want and whatever you want to think about, we all have influences. And for example, for me personally, maybe I've never told you this story, and rather, this is a story for another day. I quit social media back in 2023. I was in my first year. It was really chaotic because I was really spending almost 7 hours a day just doom scrolling. This is a real menace. If you don't address it, it can be catastrophic. But for me, if I say that it's a choice, it's just an illusion. Because even if you have a choice, at the end of the day, it all stems down to what is being fed. The algorithm will not notice your choice. It will not read your mental stability. So saying that you have a choice, you can't really say that you have a choice because that is just an illusion that you'll be deceiving yourself.
There is a way that social media came to help us. From your perspective, what has social media done in a positive way in your life?
Thank you. My name is Maxwell Wekesa. I'm a third-year law student at the Great Catholic University. And to respond to your question on how the positive impacts of social media that we are experiencing at the moment, there are a lot of positive impacts from what we are seeing from social media. We can talk about business empowerment. People can empower their businesses by advertising them in social media platforms, because in Kenya, as of now, we have a lot of users who are taking part in social media. We can talk about globalization and the interaction between other people in other states. Personally, I have pen pals from other countries where we talk and engage in social media, and we use it positively by engaging in constructive activities such as sharing their ideologies, how they interact with themselves, how they carry out particular matters pertaining the law, considering I'm a law student myself. To shift the paradigm from psychological and sociological factors, positive impacts of social media, I like to look at it from a point of law, where if you look at what the Constitution provides, the right to access to information and the right to free expression, these are the things that social media is providing for us. We're able to express ourselves freely. We're able to access information freely that through the social media platforms that are there. Say TikTok, X, especially here in Kenya, as we've seen with the Gen Zs, they communicated through X. So it's really positive. But however, we should not overlook the negative part of it, as my previous speakers have stated, that it can be a menace if we don't look at it keenly.
So here we are. We have two sides of a coin. There are those who are not lucky or fortunate enough to have teachers who guide them. For such a demographic that is just left on their own and they have to sort of swim their way or find their way through it, how do you then help such people?
Hello everyone, I'm Judy Karanja. Final year, actually I'm awaiting graduation this October. Yeah, so I'm a teacher actually.
Oh, so okay, even better.
Yeah, so exposure is something really concrete when it comes to learning, unlearning, and relearning. Okay, so in a way or in a circumstance where you haven't been exposed to social media and then you're now just given it to navigate it as you may. So it all goes back to how you were brought up, your level of grounding, your level of understanding. Once you get there, you'll realize that there are actually different pages. People actually do a lot of different things on social media. So, and naturally, you'll tend to navigate towards your interests, right? Things that make you happy, make you feel nice, okay? And most people that tend to doom scroll on social media do it for the dopamine, okay? They're not that to actually maybe learn something or get an information. It's fun, doing the trends, dancing. But if you find yourself in a position where you have been given a tool that you've never been taught how to use, then going back into your inner self and trying to really find out who I am is the best way to go.
Okay, that's really proper, and perhaps you can bring in our viewers back at home. Do you agree with some of the sentiments that have been shared right here by these young, sharp minds in terms of the impact of social media. There are positives, of course, in terms of networking, influencing, marketing, but there are negatives that come with social media, addiction, in terms of negative content and whatnot. So give us your take. The SMS line is 22151, and we definitely appreciate your input. You guys are sharp. I've definitely seen seen them doing that. What does this mean
Clock
anyway?
it.
Oh, okay. Ashley.
All right. Well, I think that's a really good place to end this conversation. Thank you guys for making time and, of course, for being patient with us. This is a conversation that will not end today. I'm sure we'll have more discussions and we'll continue evaluating what needs to be done, how we need to do it, because at the end of the day, we are the future, right? Right, I appreciate it. So we've just heard from the young voices here at Catholic University of Eastern Africa about how exactly social media shapes their day-to-day lives and how trends impact them, even as they try find a footing in their lives. And Jesse, it's not just about what's trending, it's about what's lasting, right?
Exactly. Social media is a powerful tool, but the real power lies in how we choose to use it, to build, to connect, and to define our own stories. I think that's my clarion call from the conversations we've had with these sharp young minds.
I think mine is stay grounded. Don't let what you see sort of influence your actions and your thoughts. Always look within first. Don't copy people. Be authentic. Well, that's how I wrap things up here on The People's Lens. I'm Ashley Mazuri.
And I'm Jesse Rogers. This is The People's Lens. Let's keep the conversation ongoing.